What's up, everybody? This is Peace Talks again with Donté
and Molly.
And so we're here to talk to you guys today about our 3 key phrases that we introduce to all of our students in our classrooms during the school year for Peace Line. And so today we're going to focus on the victim is never at fault. That's right, I said it, the victim is never at fault. So Molly, is there any truth to that?
Absolutely, 100%, because what we teach is you're always in control of your own actions and reactions. But sometimes people don't totally believe us when they hear them for the first time. So today we're going to be talking about the top 5 questions we get when we're talking about the victim never being at fault.
So number 1, the first question we typically get is, well, what if somebody was leading them on? Is it still not their fault that something happened to them?
So what I like to talk about is I don't totally believe in leading somebody on for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's possible for somebody to consent or give permission for some activities to happen and not others. And 2, I like to have faith in my students and have faith that people are in control of their actions and reactions, and just because somebody might, hug and kiss them, that doesn't mean that they totally lose control and want to do other things with that person without their permission. So when we talk about somebody being led on, okay, real talk, sometimes people like to do some things and not others. So for example, if somebody likes hugging, that doesn't mean that they're also gonna like kissing. But some people will try to say, oh, they hugged me, so that of course meant that I could kiss them, right? You don't have permission to escalate. If you're already doing one thing, that doesn't mean you get to escalate to something else without having a conversation with that person, right? And it doesn't mean that just because you're doing hugging that you can't control yourself and you have to have the kissing too, right? I mean, what do you think, Donté?
I absolutely agree. You have to have a conversation. You have to have open communication with one another to establish each other's boundaries. So someone could be, like you said, someone could be okay with hugging and they're not ready to start kissing yet, or they don't want to start kissing yet, or you're not in the type of relationship to where you feel comfortable with kissing that other person.
And you need to get to 100% on your communication. What I always tell people is if you're getting mixed signals and you think maybe something's okay or maybe something's not okay, you need to be 100% sure. So get to 100. If you're getting mixed signals, just ask for some more information. Number 2, what if they were dressed a certain way? What if the victim of harassment or something what if they were just kind of dressed nice, dressed kind of sexy?
We get this question all of the time. All of the time. They're wearing something that looks good, they feel like they can touch them any kind of way, make comments towards them any kind of way that's very disrespectful and demeaning and demoralizing towards someone.
So Donté, question for you. You like sports. Mm-hmm. You ever wear a sports jersey?
Yeah.
Or sports hat?
Absolutely.
I don't do sports. Sports hat? Anyway. Do people assume that you're down to play whatever that sport is?
All the time.
Really?
Sometimes they automatically assume, what basketball team do you play for? You play for that team? I get it all the time.
They stop you in the middle of the street and they bring out their hoop and they're like, all right, let's go. You got the thing on. We're kidding. Sounds a little absurd, right? You think that because someone's dressed a certain way, they're ready for a certain activity, no matter what else is going on, whatever. So in the case of maybe somebody dressing kind of sexy or scantily or whatever, we don't assume in any other case that a person is up for a certain activity.
Our clothes don't talk, you guys. My clothes don't say, hey, come over here. That's not what they say, right? So it's important, if you believe or think something, it's important for you to ask a question in a respectful manner. Typically, people are not just waking up in the morning saying, hey, I want to wear X, Y, and Z to get this type of attention from someone else. People have the right to wear what they want and feel safe wearing it.
Mm-hmm. So no matter what someone is wearing, the only thing that you can tell by someone's clothing is that they woke up that morning and decided to put them on. Anything else requires a conversation.
Third question that we get, oftentimes a lot of students ask, hey, what if they like it? What if they like what's happening? Or what if they like where they're going? Or what if they like what they're doing? Is the victim still not responsible if they like it?
If a victim has a boundary that someone crossed without getting that person's permission, it's still the other person's fault. And I think it's important to think about the difference between liking and wanting something. And Donté, let me tell you, when I ask students in class, what's the difference between liking and wanting something, 9 times out of 10, the whole class goes, what? There's a difference? And I'm like, yeah. So, the difference between liking and wanting something. You might like something and not want that thing all the time.
It's like going to the amusement park, right? If I say, hey Molly, you like amusement parks, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's go to the amusement park.
I wish.
So we go to an amusement park and maybe Molly doesn't like riding the roller coasters. Or maybe she just doesn't want to ride the roller coasters all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my job to try to force or make her ride the roller coasters because that's something she says she likes to do, right? So just because someone likes something does not mean that they either want it or they are even ready or want to participate in that. It's important for us to respect the response that we get if it differs from ours.
But just because we like something doesn't mean we want to do that all the time. And that doesn't mean that my friends can be like, hey, we went yesterday, of course you liked it, can we go today? No, that's not how that works. That's literally not how anything works. So why would it work for any type of intimate activity, right? I mean, at the end of the day, intimate activities, hugging, kissing, so on and so forth, it's no different than anything else in that you can like something but not want it all the time, right? And certainly not like something when someone does something to you without your permission. Number 4, one of the other big questions we get is, our first key phrase that we talk about with people is no means no. And our last video was on no means no. So logically, some people sit there and they go, well, if no means no, what if somebody didn't actually say no to something? Can I do stuff if they don't say no? I don't know. Donté, do you think if somebody doesn't say no, is there a little wiggle room? Is that like a gray area? What do you think?
No. The absence of a no is not the presence of a yes. So someone is not clearly verbalizing their boundaries with you. If they're remaining quiet, they're going along with the flow, it is your job to ask for clarity and understanding. A lot of times kids say, their actions are showing that they want something, or they didn't deny, or they didn't resist what's happening. Chances are they may be uncomfortable with what's going on and they don't know how to tell you. They don't know how to say it. They could be afraid of how you may react or respond. So if someone is not clearly giving you verbal and nonverbal communication together at the same time, it's your job to ask for understanding and clarity if they are comfortable and if they are not. And also do that in a way that makes them feel comfortable to give you the answer that they honestly and genuinely want to share with you.
And you might not like the answer that you get, but you still have to respect it. If you're in a relationship with somebody, if you're dealing with another human being, period, if you're told not to do something, if you're told no, you need to accept it and move on, period.
Number 5, the last one that we get kind of often sometimes is, well, what if they are intoxicated? What if they are under the influence? Are they still responsible? And our answer to them is no. A person should be able to drink or should be able to do what it is that they want to do and feel safe doing it. So even if they are intoxicated, that does not give us free rein to try to take advantage of them. It's not a free pass to cause harm to that individual. Being under the influence of drugs or alcohol impairs your motor thinking and impairs your judgment. So you cannot clearly give permission or consent if you are consuming any type of mood-altering drugs or chemicals. So no, the responsibility is not on that person who drank. The responsibility is on the person who chose to take advantage of them.
And on the flip side of that, we sometimes have people ask us, well, what if the perpetrator, what if the person who did something to someone else, what if they were drunk? And that's where I have to hit them with the road rules. So in driver's ed, once y'all get to driver's ed or talk about learning about driving and whatever, the law is if you drink and drive, you will get in trouble and you could go to jail. And you are responsible for any accidents that you might cause because you were drinking and driving. It's kind of the same concept with violating someone's boundaries. You know, if you are drunk, that's not an excuse for you to violate someone's boundaries. You don't get to mistreat someone because you were drunk. And if you are the type of person who might do that, you need to reconsider whether or not you consume those substances. Now, of course, when we're talking about this, we're preparing people for the future, right? We teach kids, and of course, you have to be of appropriate age to drink, but we want to get people used to getting this real talk now, you know? But it's pretty much the same concept as drinking and driving. Don't do it.
That's it, you guys. Those are our top 5 answer choices that we give with the victim is never at fault. Please understand that we are only responsible for our personal actions and behaviors. We are not responsible for the actions of other people.
And remember also, if someone does something to you without your permission and consent, it's not your fault. If you have been the victim, it's 100% not your fault. We aren't responsible for the actions of any other people, especially when they choose to be violent towards us.
We hope you enjoy this episode of Peace Talks. If you're dealing with issues of dating violence, domestic violence, or sexual assault, you can reach out to us at our 24-hour hotline at 540-639-1123, or you can chat with us at wrcnrv.org/chat from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. And remember, no means no, the victim is never at fault, and you have the right to be safe.